and it is September 6, 2017. It's the full moon in Pisces. The message for today is, as I start out saying, I am that I am that I am. Who am I? Who are you? I am who I am in spiritual and physical form. I am the expression of who I am in spiritual and physical form. And everything that I have done and said from all the time that I have incarnated on this planet, I am now in full expression of myself. On Saturday, I woke up feeling like as if my life was at a blank. Like I was at a point of nothingness, zero. I felt like I was disconnected from everything and all things. And this is where some of us are at a place of feeling as if our life is at a blank slate. It's like as if when the teacher says you have another chance to do that book report because it wasn't as good as it could have been. No judgments. And so you get to do it over. So now there's a do-over for me. And I'm at that place where I'm doing things over. I'm at 0 point, that void, and I wasn't even feeling anything. I wasn't emotional. I wasn't sad. I wasn't angry. I was just at a blank space. And so this moon in Pisces, my moon is in Pisces. And so I'm extremely clairvoyant. And so it's like I see things even more clearer now. And I find myself not even reacting to things even more than before, detaching. And what we're doing is some of us are already allowing ourselves to be detached from things that are happening in the world out there. I've stated before that I predicted, and things were shown to me by Spirit, that there's going to be a lot of shifts and things happening on the planet, even dreams that I had recently, where there's a tsunami and earthquakes and everything that happens, and everything's just coming up to the surface. And we must come back to that place where we enter this void space when we are starting these new beginnings of our lives. And it's a greater awareness of who we are. It's a greater awareness of where we are heading in our lives. And it's not where you're feeling panic or fear or any of these, illusions that take place. And it doesn't mean that we don't care. It just means that you're detached because you have a greater picture, a greater understanding. And when you are in this full embodiment of yourself, your higher and your other dimensional selves, as you continue to bring all the pieces together, then it all starts to make more sense. And so I heard Spirit say to me, talk about and say, what does it mean to live authentically? What is living authentically? And so all I could hear myself say is, I am that I am that I am. I am who I am, with none of the names that I've carried in this life and other lifetimes. As I've always stated who I am. I am me. I am who I am. I live authentically. And how do I live authentically? I live authentically by keeping it real. And I also do as I feel. I stay in that space within my heart of how I feel and how I express it, and not giving any fucks what anybody says, and then it allows me to feel even lighter inside. And so, this moon in Pisces represents even more of the veil that has become thinner, and where I place myself in my life and those who are around me, because I'm noticing that there are some of more of my soul family coming together with me, and they're a part of me, I'm a part of them, and so it's just all coming together. I even saw 717 this evening, and it's like confirmation that I'm getting from within myself as to what this is all about. And so when I think about who I am as I am and living authentically, my aspect of living authentically is not only how I feel what I feel in my heart and how I feel, but living it, doing and being from that heart space. And even if it's a down day or a low day or a weird day or a sad day or a happy day or an angry day, it's still me. And I'm not, nor will I ever cover that up. And so ask yourself, are you living authentically? Are you living from your heart space? Do you feel that you are able to open up your heart in speaking your truth and living your truth without worrying about what other people have to say? When do you get to decide? Do you wait till after you leave out of your body and say, oh shit, I gotta come back again? That's not happening. It's happening where we are being, like, as Mother God said to me, ripping off those band-aids and truly living authentically and being forced and placed in a space, where it becomes harder and harder, or it becomes more uncomfortable, and it's like you're in a pressure cooker. And it really has to do with just being and living authentically and really getting past all these illusions. I said to myself, I said, you know what? I am just really ready to go beyond creating this magic that I always seem to do all the time. I always seem to create this magical things to happen when I'm faced with all these different crises, and I see 444. Yes, I do. I see 4444 right now. I've been seeing a lot of 414s and 4414s lately. And so when I think about this, I said to myself, I said, I'm at that point where I'm at that 0 point, and that includes even my bills. I said, you know what? I went outside yesterday and I said, you know what? I am no longer interested in having to be thinking about all the physical things that we do have to take care of in the physical world, the bills and all these things, because it always seems to take away something from us, and it just becomes so distracting. At least for me it does anyway. And I'm keeping it very real. For me to say that I love it and enjoy it, I'll be lying to you. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate this shit. It's just annoying. And so, I said, you know what? I am thankful and grateful to Mother and Father God for having all of my expenses, bills and stuff that we have to be at zero, just as well as how I feel about my life being at a 0 point. Why not have where there's always a constant replenishment of something taken care of, and it's just always at a zero balance? You see, it's like wiping the slate clean, like it's like a bankruptcy of life. That's what it's like. And and we are all co-creating here, and so I'm co-creating my reality in that way. And the way for us to be on that path, and where it stays now, it's not sliding away from me any longer, is that I'm aligning my thoughts and feelings and living authentically. And how I can, not only am I creating this happiness by living authentically, but that it stays there, that it remains there, it stays at that point. And some may or may not understand it fully as yet, because when you do get to that place, it's because you're stripping away of all the things you've been taught, all the things that you've been told, and really knowing that we're in a magical land here. It really is magically delicious. And we really do have leprechauns. They do exist. And we do have the unicorns, and all of these realities do exist. Everything that you think that was not true is true. And so we're starting to just break through all of the blocks and all of the things that we think that we know or may not have known, to know that it is true, that it does exist. And we do exist in all these realities and everything that we are co-creating. What it is that we're creating as far as with our joy, and that fullness of joy and that blissfulness, and where it takes us. And a part of where it takes us is by being authentic. Anything to do with covering yourself up or covering something up, it's like I call it becoming naked to your soul. When you are becoming naked to your soul, just think of like how when you take off your clothes and when you go take a bath, do you get in the water with being clothed, or are you naked? And it feels good because you feel lighter. And so anything to do with sugarcoating and covering yourselves up, including covering up all the things that you've been hiding and hoarding and keeping inside for centuries, and in this lifetime as well, these layers are coming off, and they're coming off drastically. And so everything that is showing up as the elements of the earth, the storms, the hurricanes, the floods, the fires, it's a part of ourselves that is coming out. And Mother Earth is coming to her 0 point, and we are along with her for this ride. We are recreating the newer, higher versions of ourselves. So some of us may be feeling it already, and some of us may not. Some of us are looking at it in fear. Some of us may not, because it's not to be in fear. It is just to be aware and understanding and coming from a space of wisdom with this. So I leave you on this note as I see 10 minutes and 10 seconds, and ask yourselves, are you living authentically? Are you being and doing things authentically in your life? Where are you coming from in your heart space? Are you living in your fullness of joy? Are you in a place where you need to be? Because it's not just co-creating with what you're feeling and your thoughts, but what action are you taking with it? That's a part of bringing in everything into your world. Is we're bringing both worlds together, aligning the feelings, the thoughts, and taking action with it. When you know that you have done what you've done, in terms of thoughts and feeling patterns, when last have you taken action? If you've taken too much action, it's time to step back and bring in something into your conscious awareness as far as aligning with it and believing and knowing that it is done on earth as it is in heaven. Heaven on earth. So don't forget to trust and know yourselves as the gods and goddesses that you are. And when you reach to that 0 point and you understand, and there's many times that I've been at 0 point, but now I really truly understand I'm at 0 point in a different way. And this new slate has begun. It doesn't mean that I've gotten rid of anything per se. It's that feeling that comes within you when you are not recreating those frequencies and energies of things that we have experienced for centuries over and over again, where you're not in that loop anymore. You're not in that karmic loop, or I would say the hamster wheel. And so whatever has been repeated and repeated and repeated, now we can start over again. But this comes with great awareness, great wisdom, great understanding, and also applying knowledge and common sense. And so on this note, I shall love you and leave you. Happy being you. Happy being the real you, the authentic you, the down-to-earth, true you in every aspect of who you are. Namaste.